What's up, guys? Back here with another video for you. I got a fat stack of CDs this time here. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I have moved and I just, it's been crazy busy and all that kind of stuff. So we're sitting in front of my CD rack. It's 16 feet long. So I will be doing I'll be doing like a room tour thing, probably sometime pretty soon here. But besides that, we are listening to Stone Temple Pilots' first album. Not
It's
first.
just a self-titled album.
It's a self-titled album. I don't know. It's my girlfriend's, and she's listening to it in the background. So I'm making a video while she's hanging out. So I have a bunch of metal and then a little bit of not, and obviously I'll always let you know when it's transitioning, or you'll figure it out yourself, I'm sure. First one we got here is Iron Fire by Blade of Triumph by Iron Fire. It's a Danish kind of speed metal-y, power metal-y band. All the kind of dorky crap usually expected via these kind of bands. I really like this album cover though. The digipack looks really nice. It's really clean looking. It just looks like a lot of fun, Band pictures with swords. Good selling point, always. Next is a kind of a blackened death metal band. Kind of, that in between like the Dissection style. Band called Azure. This is King of Stars, Bearer of Dark. I believe this is their first record. It came out in 2005. Some cool artwork in there. Yeah, it's from 2005. I think it's definitely the first one, and it's just more of that kind of melodic, transitionary area of black and death metal. I would say it tinges a little bit more on the black metal side, more along the lines of Sacramentum and stuff like that, but nonetheless definitely worth listening to. Next is a Japanese power metal band, Concerto Moon, with their album Rainforest. I definitely am not transported to the rainforest listening to their albums, but it is nonetheless very cool looking. Big fan. Little hype sheet. Yeah, this is just, kind of like neoclassical shred type of power metal. Anybody who's familiar with the Japanese scene of power metal bands, you probably get what I mean, or you probably heard them already. It's just good stuff. Very shreddy, very fast, crazy soaring vocals. Everything you'd expect with a band with that kind of a label. Next, just got this in the other day. The reissue of Anthems to the Welkin at Dusk by Emperor. I have not ever owned this CD, and I'm a huge fan of this album. I don't know if it's my favorite Emperor material or anything, but it's definitely good stuff. I really like the first song on here being, the first actual song, Ye Entrance Imperium. I'm not exactly sure how to say it. My old drummer in my band used to play that song, and he would be like, kind of imagine like a wizard standing over a cauldron, just kind of swirling some magical crap around, and I was like, hey, I like it. The other best song in here is the Acclamation of Bonds. There's some really, really cool atmospheres in that song, some really, really sweet riffs. It's a great record. Next, these next four I got from one of my local record stores. This is Monomarth's Jomsviking. I love Monomarth. Some people just hate them. I'm assuming because they're successful for whatever reason that may be. But, it's just catchy, melodic death metal. This is a little poppier than I would prefer them to be. Stuff like Raise Your Horns was playing on like rock stations and crap like that. I don't know about that, but, nonetheless, good record. Glad to have it. Next is Savage's Edge of Thorns. This is a really, really, really good album. It's a lot more relaxed than the majority of Savage's stuff, but it's similar in mystical atmosphere to stuff like the Hall of the Mountain King stuff. I believe that was like 2 or 3 records before this one. The booklet is a hair water damaged, but it is nonetheless a great record. I believe the guitar player from Testament was in this band at this point, too. It's a fun fact. Next is something that I blind bought and kind of wish I didn't. It's called Lake of Tears, and it's the album Greater Art. Now, I was watching Brain Smasher, and he said pretty much anything like Black Mark, if I remembered right. Maybe I remembered wrong, that's why I got screwed. But he said, yeah, anything on Black Mark's usually a pretty safe bet. I really like the music on this, but these vocals are awful. He's kind of doing this in between a death growl and like actually singing kind of voice. He needs to pick one or the other because it really ruined the whole thing for me. But you know, musically it's a really cool album. Maybe I should check out some of their other stuff. Maybe he figured it out. Who knows? But yeah, Lake of Tears. Next, this is To Hell with the Devil by Striper. This is like like a Christian power metal kind of hard rock band, you know, kind of that in between Manila Road style. This is super epic stuff. Like the first song, Abyss, and you know, stuff like Holding On. Yeah, there's some like really sappy Poison style ballads, and then there's like heavy riff like doing this like Manowar style songs too. It's really funny. It's a great record. This band picture is awful. All around worth however much you paid for it. Next, okay, so the rest of the metal here and the beginnings of the not metal are all from the exclusive company in Greenfield, Wisconsin. You guys have heard me mention that place before. The first one is something I've been looking for a multitude of years. It's always expensive. It's Tales from a Thousand Lakes by Amorphous. Classic, you know, Finnish death metal record. Keyboard heavy. This like suffocating, like cold and dark atmosphere. It's great. It's just a somber tone. Kind of alien sounding in a way because it doesn't sound like anything else. Great record. I've never actually heard this album, but I adore the band, so it's the Chthonic Chronicles by Balsa Goth. I have a different one over here. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. It's the blue one from '95. I don't remember the full name. But you know, it's Balsa Goth doing Balsa Goth. This later material wasn't as awesome as the earlier stuff, but you know, that's kind of the way most of it goes. Next, my favorite album by this band. This is Druk's album Blood in Our Wells. Ukrainian black metal, you guys already know these guys. There's nothing I need to say. Really cool disc art there. I really liked a lot of the artwork in here. Very cool. It reminds me of like Volknot from Russia and like the, you know, the early Burzum stuff. I have no clue who this dude is. You know, it's just a great record. I've always loved this one. This one, Autumn Eternal, stuff like that. The best Druk material for sure. Next, this is a blind by a Swedish band called Domgard, and I don't know how to say whatever that other word is on the album cover, the album title. So this is just kind of like a darker black metal, pretty keyboard heavy. There's a lot of keyboard passages. The beginning starts off, and then there's like an interlude in the middle of it. It's decently somber. It's really melodic. It's kind of mid-paced, and it's a lot of that throaty vocal. You know what I mean? But all around, it's a good record. I bought it without ever hearing it, just looking at them on the Metal Archives. But yeah, well worth the money. Next is a good score. The first two King Diamond albums on a 2 CD set here. I was looking for Abigail, and I didn't expect to find this. I don't like the fact that it's all in one, because I would prefer to see both of the spines. But I got this 2 CD set for $12 used, so how do you argue with it? You know, classic stuff. You guys have all heard it. Next, I don't know how to properly pronounce this band's name. It's Kazadium, the Dwarven Halls. It is brutal death metal from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Obviously, all Lord of the Rings themed. This is their first EP from 2015. I think it was self-released. It's really awesome. You don't hear a lot of brutal death metal bands with anything that's, you know, not a gore themed lyric or like aliens and some crap like that. So this is nice to hear. Usually, you know, you get more of the Lord of the Rings stuff in the black metal, but yeah, it's really cool. It's really punishing. It reminds me a lot of that band Troglodyte from St. Louis. If you guys have ever heard them, it's good stuff. Next, one of the best scores in this pile. Really surprised to have found this. This is the Xasthur and Leviathan split. I've heard many people say that this is the best Xasthur material. I don't know about that, but it is really, really awesome. And I love Leviathan as well, so I'm just really excited to finally have this. It came out a long time ago at this point, so. But obviously you guys have all heard that. Next up is Graveyard's album Lights Out. This is kind of where it's transitioning out of the metal section. This is more like a stoner rock, kind of stoner doom metal kind of thing. Yeah, really basic packaging, really weirdly firm cardboard. It's really good stuff. I mean, it's very much so in like the hard rock category rather than just a straight up metal stoner bands. But yeah, Graveyard's awesome. Next, from here on out, it will be no more metal. So if you're not interested anymore, feel free to leave here. This is Coulter Wall's Western Swings and Waltzes and Other Punchy Songs. Amazing Coulter Wall album. You guys definitely need to check this one out. I really like the insides of there. I always loved printed inners on these kind of digipacks. Looks really good. Yeah, he plays Marty Robbins' Big Iron, the traditional red and old paint, the traditional cowpoke. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Next is Tyler Childers' album Country Squire. I'm a big Tyler Childers fan. It's a little bit of a departure from the sound that I liked him having, but nonetheless a great record. I already know most of it, even before I got the album here. But I'm, glad to just add the physical copy to my collection. Next is a guy I don't hear many people talk about. It's Welcome to Hard Times by Charlie Crockett. It's a Texas guy, kind of a little bit of everything, R&B, folk, country, a lot of traditional honky-tonk stuff he does. This is more of a dark album than he usually does. It's usually, a lot more fun. This is a pretty somber record. Nonetheless, super awesome, and it's actually almost all original tunes besides Blackjack County Chain, which is a prison song. Next, a guy who's pretty famous for recording records. It's Brent Cobb with Providence Canyon. This is a really, really good record. I never actually heard it before today, and I just wound up really liking it. There's Brent himself there. I really like this album cover. It's very pleasant to look at. Yeah, it's just kind of that kind of country rock style, the modern country rock style with, pretty heavy organs and just a good groove to it. It's good stuff. Next, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, first record. I finally got this. I've been looking for it for a while. It's a classic album. You guys have probably all heard that already. These next three are things that I actually already have copies of, but I figured I'd show them just to get it out of the way. This is Bob Marley and the Wailers' Exodus, Lyle Lovett's I Love Everybody, and Randy Travis's Storms of My Life. I already have those three, so I just wanted to get right through them. And the last one I got here is The Mighty Blue Kings. Meet Me in Uptown. I have not listened to this at all. That's why I put them at the end. So, yeah, I think it's just a Chicago blues group, maybe just a bunch of local guys having fun or something like that. I'm not too certain, but, I have a safe assumption to what it's going to sound like. So we're creeping up on 15 minutes here, so I got to cut out, but I'll be making another video here pretty soon, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Have a good rest of your day. Keep it greasy.